Hi, I'm Kayla Esparza, and I'm going to do my speech on pet adoption today. And I've got my two audience members. There's Kurt and Rick, who's adopted, and we have Zach, and there's another puppy dog in the hall who's also adopted, but it's a good time. There's my note card. Here's the front, here's the back, here's the front again. For 30 seconds. That's the short version. Okay, speech beginning now. Last week I was sent a picture and told to guess what the animal was. And the animal was in a horrible cage in a dark room with no food, no water, in a really dirty predicament. And my best guess, I thought it was just a matted up rat and couldn't understand why this was being sent to me. Well, the picture actually ended up being a female purebred Yorkie, and it actually was a pet breeding center for places like Petland and corporate pet stores who benefit high profits compared to really terrible breeding conditions that are super cheap because they're not giving them any of the things that they need in life. So what I want to say to my audience members is that every time you guys go to a pet store, you fall in love with that cute puppy behind the glass, you're actually pushing this cycle of high profits versus cheap predicaments that these puppies are being created in. And today I'm going to give you the facts to actually make you care about these issues. And we're going to go and boycott these stores, and we're going to start going to shelters to adopt our pets. And in doing that, we're actually going to help bring down the levels of euthanization that the shelters are having to do because of overcrowding, because they actually care if places are overcrowded. I've gotten all my information from the ASPCA website and the Humane Society website. And basically why going to a corporate pet store is so bad is because pet stores don't care. The cheapest way to push their product is what they're going for. So there's not going to be adequate food, there's not going to be adequate care, and basically all the consumers out there are too naive to do the research to figure out where these dogs are coming from. The research is available. If you go to the ASPCA website, you'll be able to find the zip codes that correlate with the pet store, and you can find out where the dogs are coming from, whether it's good and safe or bad and abusive. And they basically get away with these lies. They'll say things like, well, the dogs come from private breeders and it's a really good place, which it's becoming more popular for the private breeders to incorporate these abusive situations for breeding. Even though there's laws in place, there's still very many loopholes. There's a law in Missouri stating that there has to be a veterinarian on the premises in the breeding home. However, nowhere does it state in any way, shape, or form that the vet actually has to come in contact with the animal or handle the animal at all. So he can basically walk through a room of abused dogs, get a paycheck, call a day, and it's completely legal. Another reason that shelters get so many dogs is because people can't handle the sick dogs. And the sick dogs are usually coming from pet stores because people don't ask questions to find out what they're getting. There was a circumstance where a couple had gotten a puppy from Petland, and 4 days later he started having seizures. They took him to the vet, and he said it was the poor breeding situation that he came from, that it was completely hereditary. The dog ended up dying, and all they got was a refund, and a refund is just not worth this continuance of abuse. Another really giant point in going to an adoption shelter is it's going to help not only you out, not only the dog out, but it's going to help society out, because our tax money in a way is going towards euthanizing dogs. Every 11 seconds a dog is getting euthanized, and it's due to the overpopulation of the shelters. So if we start getting our dogs from there, not only is it going to help all that out, but it's going to be cheaper on you versus getting a $1,000 dog that came from an abusive situation. You're going to get a dog from a shelter that's going to come with veterinary service. They're going to offer to spay or neuter your dog. They're going to make sure that he's dewormed. You're going to get your rabies vaccines, and it's all done at a cheaper price because they actually want to help these dogs out. Miss Sandra on the ASPCA website, she had a nice little poem, which is pretty much I believe, the opposite way that the corporations feel. And it went, a dog is not a thing. Things are disposable. A dog is not. Things are replaceable. A dog is not. Things don't have hearts. And dogs have the biggest hearts that anybody will ever find. So I beg you to tell your friends and tell your families the horrible situations that these purebred dogs come from, that the parent dogs are just completely unrecognizable. It's good for society. It's good for you. You're going to end up saving what's going to be your best friend. And the very last thing that I'd like to leave you with, especially for the next time that you finally get in there and you walk through a shelter and you look into these little puppies' eyes, something that I feel a poem portrays of what they're feeling, and that was, I have one day left, I heard the man say. Is this my second chance? Well, you bring me home today. So you guys get out there and do the right thing. You save some dogs' lives, and you end not only euthanization, but you also end this process of high profits versus these horrible, abusive situations. Thank you.